Hello and welcome to Thrive Wellness. I'm clinical psychologist Paul McQueen. In today's video, I wanted to teach you a tool called progressive muscle relaxation. This is a tool that I love to teach clients to help them to relax their bodies physically and in turn to help their mind to calm down and to relax. When the fight-flight reflex that I talked about in my last video is activated, one of the ways that it affects the body physically is that it gets you tense and ready for action. So this progressive muscle relaxation is designed to help you counteract that tension, to physically calm and relax your body, and for that in turn to send signals to your brain to say, hey, it's okay, we can calm down now. Like with the other tools that I teach, this technique works best if you first practice it regularly at a time when you're not stressed, not worked up, not anxious. So I usually recommend to people to make a commitment to practice this. Typically, I would recommend practicing it at night when you're in bed trying to go to sleep because it's a great tool to help you get to sleep. And I would recommend to try to commit to doing this exercise once a day for at least 2 weeks. At the end of 2 weeks, hopefully you'll see yourself getting some benefit from it. And at that point, you can decide whether you want to continue or not. The rationale with this exercise, though, is that it's actually a tool to teach you what it feels like to be relaxed and to recognize what tension feels like so that you can easily shift yourself from a tense to a relaxed state. So the idea behind it is that you would not have to go through the full steps of this exercise every time you need to relax. It's more about using the exercise as practice so that when you're in a tense state and you're needing that relaxation, you can simply say the word relax to yourself in your mind and just let that tension go from your body. One of the challenges that people experience is that your mind will wander. You know, anytime you try to slow down, anytime you try to be still, but especially if you've got a lot on your mind, which I'm sure many people viewing this will do at the moment. So when there's a lot on your mind and you try to slow down, your brain will kind of react negatively to that in many cases. You'll have these thoughts popping up, you know, I've got more important things to be doing right now. There's so much to get done. There's so much to think about. Lots of important things to worry about. So this is a natural obstacle that you're going to find yourself experiencing the first time that you try this exercise, most likely. And so I just want you to be aware throughout that that's perfectly normal for that to happen. And all we want to do is just be a little bit open to the inevitability of those kinds of thoughts. And when you find them happening, don't think to yourself, oh, I'm not doing it right, or this isn't going to work for me. Simply, whenever you've realized that you've become distracted or sidetracked, just gently guide your attention back to focus. So the first thing that I want you to do right now is to get yourself into a comfortable posture. So that just means any posture that you feel you could maintain over a period of maybe 5 to 10 minutes without becoming uncomfortable and having to constantly shift. You'll inevitably have to shift a few times through the exercise, that's okay, but we don't want you kind of squirming and wriggling constantly throughout and getting sidetracked by discomfort. So find a posture that works for you. You can do this lying down if you like, you can do it sitting, and different times you practice it, try different postures out and settle on one that you find works best for you. The next thing that I'd like you to do is to close your eyes. And to begin with, just bring your attention to your own breathing. Breathing, it's something that your brain is able to look after for you without you needing to think about it. You do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So as soon as you start to focus on it, there'll be a natural inclination of your mind to think, oh, I've got more important things to be thinking about. So I just want you to be aware of that sort of thought process intruding. And I want you to keep just bringing your focus back to your breathing. And you might quickly notice as you do that there's quite a lot about breathing that you could notice, and you can't even take it all in at once. So just pick a detail, focus on that. Maybe notice the feeling of the movement of air through your nose. Maybe notice the difference in the temperature of the air that comes in to going out. And then, to get you into a good state of mind for this exercise, I'd like you to start to picture a scene in your mind that you would find a relaxing place to be. So it could be a real place that you like to go to get away from things. It could be an imaginary place. But if you try to picture that in your mind now, don't worry if you're not a particularly visual sort of person. Just do the best you can. Just get the idea of a place in mind if need be. But imagine yourself there right now, away from everything. Imagine the sounds that you'd be hearing in that place, the sensations that would be associated with it. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to focus your attention on one group of muscles at a time. We're going to have you gently tense those muscles, pay attention to the sensations of that for a short period of time. Then we'll have you relax those muscles, and then again pay attention to that sensation of being relaxed for a short period of time. And then we'll repeat that process over different parts of your body. Now, when you do this exercise yourself, feel free, in fact I'd encourage you to try different muscle groups than just the ones that we've gone through in this video today. So to begin with, you could bring your attention to your dominant arm. So if you're a right-hander, that'll be your right arm. And I want you to gently tense the muscles in that arm. Just hold that tension gently, and as you do, bring your full attention to what that feels like through that arm. Notice that tight, tense sensation. Try to maybe picture in your mind a little bit the muscles themselves that are tightening up. And then I want you to say the word relax to yourself in your mind. And I want you to picture that tension just flowing out of your arm, draining away. Let that tension completely release. And then just take a moment to sit and to notice how that feels now that your arm is fully relaxed. Now if you could tense that arm again, and as you do, notice the tightness, the tension you feel through your arm. Notice the different places in your arm there are muscles tightening up. Now say relax to yourself. Let all of that tension melt away. Notice that feeling of those muscles now being relaxed. Try to notice the sense of the weight of your own arm, the feeling of gravity pulling down on it. Now if you could tense again, notice that tightness up and down your arm. And now say relax to yourself and let that tension completely release. Let your arm become fully relaxed and limp. Take a moment to notice how it feels for your arm to be completely relaxed and free of tension. Now we'll do the same now with your other arm. So now bringing your focus to your other arm, I want you to gently tense the muscles up and down that arm. And as you do, notice the feeling, notice the different muscles you can feel coming into action and tightening up. And then say the word relax to yourself in your mind and let all of that tension release. And just picture that tension just flowing out of your arm. And notice how it feels now for your arm to be loose and relaxed. Now tense again. Notice all the places through your arm that tension can be felt. Notice the muscles that you have in your arm tightening up. And then say relax to yourself. Let all of that tension drain and melt away. And notice how that feels through your arm. And then again tense. Notice that tension and that tightness. And say relax to yourself and let all of that tension drain away. Now let's have you do the same thing now with your dominant leg. So gently tense the muscles right up and down your leg. As you do that, notice any other muscles that instinctively tighten up with those. Bring your attention to noticing those muscles and what they feel like as they're tense. Now say relax to yourself. Let all of that tension drain away. Let that leg become completely loose and relaxed. And notice how that feels. Now tense again. Tighten up the muscles in that leg. Notice how that feels through your leg. Notice where you can feel those muscles that are tight. And then say relax to yourself. And release each and every one of those muscles. Let them all become loose and relaxed. Take a moment to notice that feeling. Now tense again. Notice that tightness through your legs. And then relax. Just notice how that feels. Now let's do the same now with your other leg. So now gently tense the muscles through your other leg. Notice where you feel them tighten up. Notice if that sensation is at all familiar to you. And then say relax to yourself and let all of that tension flow out of your leg, out of your muscles. And notice how that feels. Now tense the muscles in that leg again. Notice that tightness that you feel. Notice which muscles have tensed up. And now say relax to yourself and imagine all of that tension flowing out of those muscles, like water just draining out of a hose. And notice how that feels for those muscles to be loose and relaxed. Next, let's do the same through the muscles in your shoulders and neck. So just gently tightening the muscles in your neck and your shoulders. Notice that feeling of tension through your neck and shoulders. Notice whether that's a familiar feeling. Then I want you to say the word relax to yourself in your mind. And let all of that tension just melt away from your neck and shoulders. Let those shoulders drop, let those muscles become completely loose and relaxed. And just notice how that feels. And now tense again. Just gently tighten the muscles through your neck and your shoulders. Notice how that tightness feels. Then say the word relax to yourself in your mind. Let all of that tension just drain away. Tense those muscles in your neck and your shoulders again. Notice that tightness, tension that you feel. And say relax to yourself. Let all of that tension through your neck and your shoulders just drain away. Now I want you to bring your attention to the very top of your head, the top of your scalp. And I want you to just notice whether you feel any tightness in that area. And if you do, I want you to say those words relax to yourself in your mind. And I want you to release that tension. And then work down layer by layer through your body. So from your scalp, moving to your forehead, noticing if you feel any tension. If you do, saying relax, releasing that tension. And then continuing down into your face and jaw, then down into your neck and shoulders, and your chest, your abdomen, torso. Just work your way down, making sure you've covered every part of your body, checking in whether you feel any tension or tightness. And if you do, just saying relax, letting that tension melt away. If there's any particular area as you go through that you notice is tight or is difficult to let the tension go, keep that in mind as a place to focus on the next time you do this exercise. And once you've scanned through your whole body from head to toe, you've relaxed all the muscles right from head to toe, then just gradually, as you're ready, you can open your eyes. So hopefully you found that a relaxing exercise. Some people, when they do this exercise, may even fall asleep. That's a really great sign if that happens, because it tells you that you were able to relax your body to the point that it felt able to let go enough you could go into a sleep state. So if you're ever doing this exercise and you fall asleep in the middle of it, I just say to people, let yourself sleep. Don't feel like you need to kind of wake yourself back up to continue. Just finish it off another night if that happens. Now, you might sort of be wondering on how this can work for you. So as I said before, this exercise is about a practice. It's about teaching you to recognize what tension feels like and to know the tool of being able to tell yourself relax and release that tension. So the idea with this is practice it at home. And then when you're out and about, if things are happening, if you're finding yourself getting stressed and getting tense, it's not that you would go and take yourself away and run through this whole exercise, but rather just being able to say in your mind then and there, relax, and just let that tension go. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. Please, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to our channel so that you can be made aware of future videos that we put up. And yeah, like I said, just practice this regularly, give it 2 weeks, and at the end of 2 weeks, maybe let us know in the comments if you're willing to how that's gone for you, whether you found it useful or it did nothing for you. Anyway, thanks very much, and we'll see you in our next video.